Radical.
My goodness. My goodness. This has to be the funniest, cringiest YouTube upload I have seen in maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe ever. This is some vintage fucking cringe. Oh my goodness. I understand, Dodge. You have to promote the next generation charger. I understand it. You know, you want to sell them, right? But there's a way you promote this thing, and there's a way you don't promote it to insult the fan base of Dodge muscle cars, legendary Dodge muscle cars. It's a tough pill to swallow, the fact that you have to make these lithium-powered vehicles. But this is some vintage cringe because, well, I'll leave a link to this after I get done talking about it. And I thought the fucking Cybertruck design was funny. This is hilarious. So, Dodge is promoting in an upload, they uploaded yesterday, the next-gen Charger. They're really trying to sell these next-gen Chargers, right? And like I said, it's a tough pill to swallow for people that love Dodge muscle cars. There's a whole fan base of people that are loyal to Dodge and their muscle cars. And in this upload, which I've not seen the whole thing, I just couldn't stomach it. I was about to laugh so hard I was falling out of my fucking chair. In this upload, admittedly, it starts off kind of cool. It starts off kind of like Back to the Future. You know, you have the car, the new Charger. It's unveiled. It's going down some 1920 streets. There's a paper boy. There's a police officer. The power of the electricity pulsating through this vehicle is knocking off the hats of people. Okay, I'm like, all right, okay. All right. Not a bad start. But then you get to the point about a minute or so in where you hear this. They're starting to rev this vehicle up. I'll play it in the background. I'll crank this up so you could possibly hear this. Listen. I gotta stop. All right. That's the Fratzonic exhaust system, which is meant to replicate what an exhaust sounds like. It sounds like a sick exhaust. And I don't mean like, dude, that's sick. I don't mean like a sick exhaust. It sounds like something's wrong with the car. They said it gets really loud. Well, there's loud good sounds and there's loud bad sounds. Have you ever heard the exhaust of a tricked out 4-cylinder typical Honda Civic rice burner? Okay, that sounds better than this. That sounds better than this. I'm not sure how it sounds better, but it actually, I think, sounds better than this. Maybe because it's a real engine that's making the sound. This is completely fake. It would be better if they just basically owned it and said, you know what? This is our new electric car. It's very fast. It's meant to compete with Teslas out there. We can't create muscle cars anymore. We want to, but it's Stellantis. You know, we can't do it. They needed to do that and not have this fraud of a muscle car. One of the most distinctive features of a muscle car, a lot of you that have Hemi V8s understand this, is the roaring fucking nice sound, the balls on that sound of that Hemi V8. They tried to replicate it, but it just sounds pathetic, anemic. Do I want to run that back again? I'll run it back one more time. You gotta hear. You gotta hear how terrible this sounds. And don't tell me this sounds like a Hemi. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with my audio here. It's not my speaker. That's actually how it sounds. If I took this phone out right now and recorded the sound of my startup 1994 Nissan Sentra, where I have a custom front-to-back exhaust system, it would put this fucker to shame. It sounds better than this, and it's a four-banger. How did I do that? How could they not? How does it sound so terrible? Oh, it's pathetic. Well, what's even worse than this is he goes back in time, and he's talking to the Dodge brothers, and they're talking about how they can't create muscle cars anymore, no more V8s, and they're against us, and this is really all we could do to try to create this muscle car. And it's not powered by gas, it's powered by lithium. It's the mere fact that they tried to pass this off as a muscle car and then make references to how this is the new muscle car. This is not the new muscle car, Dodge. It is not. It is not. This has more in common with the Tesla Plaid than it does any of the Hemis, any of the Hellcats, any of the Demons. That's what this is. Okay? I understand, Dodge. You can't make those Hemis no more. But you need to let fucking go, man. That crowd of people, you're insulting their intelligence. You telling a gearhead that this is the new muscle car is insulting them. It's a direct insult. And you had all the history in your video, 100 years of Dodge, all the history. I just slapped my own face. Can you hear that sound effect? I slapped my own face. This is you slapping your user base, your audience, your buyers of your Dodge vehicles in the past. Which, let's be honest here, Chrysler and Dodge, not the most reliable of vehicles. People got Dodges for one reason. It's a four-letter word, Hemi. That's why people got Dodges. The new Rams are fucking shit. Look up reviews of the new vehicles and reliability. Dodge, Chrysler, near the fucking bottom. There was one reason, the one thing that was keeping Dodge afloat, and that was the Challengers and the Chargers. They hit it big with the design. This doesn't even look as good as the outgoing Challengers and the Chargers. Doesn't even look as good. I mean, as far as electric vehicles, it might be one of the best looking electric vehicles, but that's not saying a whole lot. Meanwhile, Chevy bowed out, no more Camaro. And like I said, there's one more true last muscle car, one last American muscle car, and that is Ford. Continue with the Mustang. So to any of you that see this, any of you looking for a new muscle car, there's one left. And I guess Dodge has a twin-turbo V6. So there's that. I mean, they are doing that. So I suggest if you want a real car with an actual soul and you don't want a muscle car that is trying so fucking hard to be a muscle car, go ahead and get the twin-turbo V6 if you want to. Then you can mod that. You can actually tinker with that. You got a shop, you can actually do mods to that. It's electric. That's another thing. It's not a true muscle car because people had fun modding out their muscle cars. You can't do shit with this. It's all batteries and shit, I left a comment there. Electric muscle car is kind of like a transgender man. Laugh out loud, just playing fucking pretend. This has to be the cringiest thing I've ever seen. This is not scheduled, ladies and gentlemen. This is not scheduled at all. I had to upload just because this is the cringiest thing I've ever seen all year. And like I said, I'll leave a link to this right now.